So let's get started, I guess. Hurry, whoever needs to make it. This is titled The First Cloud. This was done 1887 by the artist named William Quiller Orchardson. Again, I had never heard of this guy before, or seen any of his art. I just happened to find this one while perusing different art museums and art websites. This is an oil on canvas, and the canvas size is 134 centimeters by 193 centimeters. And first off, I was kind of surprised to hear that this was an oil painting, just because something about the outlines of the man and the woman over there give me an illustrative vibe. So I was like, oh, this is an oil painting. Interesting. Okay. Yes. So let's do a little bit of a background on the artist. Not a whole lot of info, but this next one. Yes. Okay. There you go. So born in Edinburgh. Am I saying that right? Edinburgh, Scotland. Edinburgh. By age 15, he was in art school training under master painters in the Royal Scottish Academy. So very early on, he was painting and being taught. Edinburgh. I knew it. I knew I was saying it wrong. I was like, it's not Edinburgh. It's Edinburgh. Edinburgh, Scotland. Yes, thank you. I knew I was saying it wrong. I was like, yeah. Yes. So started learning painting and stuff by age 15. By age 30, so quite a bit ahead, he moved to London, where he experienced kind of a small period of quiet in terms of his paintings and his art career. But pretty soon, he started to gain publicity from his art. So this is one of those rare cases of an artist actually being successful during his lifetime. Yeah, so he started painting these sorts of paintings. And by that, I mean kind of the everyday life, I guess, of upper middle class families, or people, I suppose. People were drawn to William's very keen eye for detail. Not only that, but the detail he would put in people's clothing. People are dressed very accurately for the times. How the rooms, I guess, are all decorated. That's all very accurate to the times. That, and I feel how he sets up the compositions as well. He does a very good job of narrating a story that you kind of have to... Yeah, the titles make it make sense, if that isn't sound too weird, I guess. I'll explain a little bit, but... Spelling things as they're written. In the corner, drinking my drogged beer and eating my dognuts. Dugnuts. Yes, so let's talk about this painting here. Again, it's all of these paintings are oil on canvas, just in case you guys were wondering. This one is done in 1888, so this one is technically a year after that first one I showed you guys, The First Cloud. We see here a young woman playing the piano and singing. What she doesn't realize is the man to the left of the painting sits with kind of a troubled look on his face. And again, this is where the title of the painting really helps out a lot. And that's why sometimes titling your paintings is important, because the title is Her Mother's Voice. And And your explanation made sense. Yes, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say or categorize his expression as just being sad. I think it's more of like, because of the title, we can assume that the mom or the wife, I guess, has passed away. And so they're having like a chill evening, and the daughter starts to sing. And for just a brief moment, the husband or the father is reminded rather of his late wife. Yeah, reflective. That's probably a much better word. Like he's kind of already accepted the loss of his late wife, but yeah, so it's like a mix of like happiness and sadness and just like reminiscing on times, I suppose. Yeah, so it's kind of like a really sad painting. It's like, oh man, that sucks. And I found that to be really impressive to do. To be able to show that sadness, because usually in paintings, it'll depict like at the funeral or like people being painted like as just straight up crying or being sad, I guess. Whereas this one isn't just sadness, it's more or less reflecting or reminiscing on like really good times without literally crying, I guess. I don't know, it's just such a very real and human experience, I suppose. And that's why I chose this artist / these like series of paintings. And it makes a lot of sense why these paintings, when he did paint them, garnered a lot of attention and praise. Probably was for that very real human depiction, you know? That's why I think they got so big, and I can wholeheartedly agree. I think this painting is very impressive. Can make or ruin a piece. Exactly. And I think in this one, definitely, the title does help, and I do think it's a little needed. The cat, what? Oh, the, like, maybe off? Oh my gosh, yeah. So yes, I definitely think the title is a little needed, because I think without it, it might be a little too loose for interpretation. Just because a lot of these characters, I suppose, are so broad in like what they're doing. Yeah, so the whole title of Her Mother's Voice really guides us to the message that the artist was trying to convey. So yeah. Okay, so that one is, yeah, so that's this one. Just to give you like an idea of the kinds of paintings that we're going to be talking about, I guess. So we need to pay attention to the title. And then we also need to pay attention to a lot of the visual cues, the expressions of the people, things like that. So, okay, next one. And this one I really couldn't find like a higher resolution painting or image quality, which may be really sad, but yeah. It's supposed to look like the other ones, but I couldn't find a better image quality, so big sad. This one is titled The Marriage of Convenience. This one was done in 1883, oil on canvas. Another sad one, very reminiscent of the times, I guess. But basically, we see a couple sitting at the dinner table. They're sitting very opposite ends of one another. As we can read from the title, this is a marriage of convenience, which I feel like is a very interesting title in itself. The fact that the artist was willing to call it as it is, you know, like, because back then they're like, oh yeah, it's marriage for the family, or marriage for the family name kind of deal. Whereas William Orchardson was like, no, it's convenience. That's what it is. He's kind of like shit talking it, which I really appreciate. Just how fucked up it was, you know, like, yeah. So I thought that was a really good title. But yeah, so we see this couple sitting on opposite ends of the dinner table, and this one I decided to like hardcore analyze. So this is just my thinking, I suppose. Obviously, people can read it like very differently, but just in the body language itself, I think we can all agree that the woman, the wife, just not in it. She's not happy. Whereas the husband, maybe he's a little more trying to make it work, but it's just not, you know. If we want to like really see the symbolism, the butler is like catering to the man. The man has like all of these nice wines and like things in front of him, whereas the wife doesn't have any food on her plate. She's just kind of like slumped in her chair. She's actually leaning so far back that the light above the dinner table isn't illuminating her really at all, whereas the man is being like very illuminated. Hi, B. Yeah, so just in terms of like shadows and lighting and things, that has a huge effect. And then I also noticed the layout of the room. So behind the man over here, right here, we can see like a doorway, I guess. Whereas over here next to the woman, it's the corner of the room. And this may be me just reaching and grasping for straws, but to me, that definitely feels like symbolism as well. Because she's the one that feels like defeated and stuck. Like she's cornered, right? So it would make sense that she would be in the corner of the room. Sorry, this song is like kind of loud. There we go. Yeah, so she's in the corner of the room because in a symbolism kind of way, she's stuck. She's the one that wants to get out. She feels trapped. Whereas the guy, the man, is a lot more trying to make it work, or maybe he's just not really reading on what she's feeling, but he has like the doorway, I guess. Body language, yeah. So just that whole juxtaposition of her being in a corner in this like in kind of like shadows, I guess, and having like nothing in front of her on the table really, whereas the guy is like illuminated in light. He has like the doorway behind him. He has the butler like taking care of him. He's got all this food in front of him. Like it's very it's like the painting is split in half completely, and it's like there's the one that's really suffering because of this arranged marriage, and the other one, the other side, the guy's side, like it's all good, you know, it's all good for him. Topical. It's, yeah. And interestingly, yeah, again, I had never seen this guy's art, and so when I did find that first painting, I decided to go down the rabbit hole of the rest of his art. He does really good stuff, but I picked out some really, really interesting good ones. Yeah. How's you be? I hope you're good. I don't know why that song was so loud for me. Okay. Am good. 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 Meeting's finally done. Oh, good. Protocol would dictate her glass is filled before his. Right. I meant more like, oops. Oh god. Where's my laser? There we go. Like, yes. She probably got topped off first. I mean like these bottles over here. That kind of deal. Not necessarily the wine itself, but he's got all the good stuff over here. So that was the Marriage of Convenience. And interestingly enough, this is also part of the same series. This one's titled After. This one was done 86, oil on canvas, yada yada. And it's so sad. Oh no, like it's the same like dinner table and everything. Like I don't know. Like it's you don't really know the full story, so you don't want to feel too bad, but goddamn dude, that sucks. Hi Mel. So yes, we can assume that this is the same room because there's the fireplace and everything. Same dinner table, the like wine, would that be called a decanter? No, because decanters are like open, right? But yes, just from his body language, God, it's just incredible. Like it's so good. Just again, the look of just absolute like defeat and sadness. And this was done in 1886. What? Like, ugh, whack. Whack. You're late. The door's locked. No. No, come back. But if you can, definitely, check out the VOD if you were late, because, the piece, Her Mother's Voice, I feel that was a very incredible piece, so. And it's kind of interesting, though, like, for this painting anyways, I don't know how you guys feel about story pieces like this. So, like, obviously, this, you know, like, if you were to just see this painting, you'd be like, okay, like, it's a sad man, you know, sitting at a fireplace. Okay. But the reason it really is effective is because it goes alongside with this painting. I don't know how you guys feel about those paintings. The fact that, like, one relies on the other, I suppose. Yeah. I guess I don't know. But I mean, I'm just whatever. I don't really. Maybe she died of boredom. Oh no. Oh no. It's matching. I match. We match. After what? Exactly. Yeah, so I guess maybe that, the title being what it is, maybe that could be changed a little bit. But that being said, maybe you'll seek out the before. You know what I mean? So. Shave. Oh my god. Brave painting can be neat. Yeah, I think so. They really amplify each other, I guess. But yeah, it can be a little unfortunate if you only see this painting. Because that first painting is good, right? But then you see this painting, and it makes that first painting, like, even better, almost. So, and the first painting makes this painting even better, so, yeah. Okay, so, that's that little, story thingy. Alright, so... The last painting is the first one I showed you guys. So this was the one that I found. And let's talk about this painting. Yeah, so this is the first cloud. And this title definitely has a little bit more of like a, like, think about it kind of deal. I think what it means is the first cloud, as in this is the first cloud, or like the first big bump in the road of this couple's marriage. And unfortunately, it's the first cloud, not the last cloud. You know what I mean? So like, I think this is showing an evening when shit's about to start, you know? When the bad stuff starts happening. That's what I think anyways. Yeah, I don't know. This, man, I love her dress so much. But yeah, we see a couple coming back from, I don't know what, some sort of evening together. And again, interestingly, the man, the husband, is like looking at the woman, kind of like he has his neck kind of like leaned in. So like he's trying to like talk to her or get her attention again or something, but she's just not having it. She's just like leaving. And when I was doing research for this painting, actually, someone brought up, which I thought was really neat, how around this time was actually when in the UK there was finally, I can't remember the name of the act, but basically it made it so that when a husband and a wife get married, immediately, well, how it used to be is immediately everything would go to the man, right? Everything would go to the man. Well, this act actually made it so that what was the woman's was the woman's and what was the man's kind of deal. Equality, equal-ish. This was actually around that time when that was passed. So someone was like, you know, maybe that was what they were fighting about, is the whole like how women are starting to become equal to men, which I mean could make sense, like being able to like stick up for yourself and things like that. I thought that was kind of interesting. So he is defeated. Oh, property rights for women's? Yes, property rights. There we go. Thank you. That's the word. Thank you. But that's interesting, Rod. And see, that's why I like these kinds of paintings so much, is because you see him having more of like a defeated look. I see him as like trying to like talk to her still, or like still trying to like reach out to her almost. So yeah, that's why I love these kinds of paintings, because everybody has like a different view. So I don't know. It's such a beautifully detailed piece. It's just wild to me that this is a painting. Like the little throw blankie on the sofa here, the details in the floor, the rug being a little like folded at the end here. Yeah, all the ornate details in like the pillars and the little desk over here. There's all these little trinkets and things over here way in the distance, like the vanity. You may not be able to see it super well, but there's like flowers and different like little jars and things. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why these paintings got so much success as they did at the time, was because of the details of the rooms, as well as the details in the clothing, which is interesting that that's such a sought after, likable feature, I suppose. Not this time. Sandman, no. So yeah, found this person completely at random. But yeah, super, super happy and glad that I had found this artist, because he does very, very good work. Oh, yeah, and that's it. Ding! That's the notes. I know, super short. I'm sorry, but, yeah. Honestly, I spent most of my time just trying to find an artist to talk about, so, yeah. Plus, I didn't want to do a super long art history stream today because of Friendship Friday. So, keep the beautiful dresses coming and we'll be fine. Oh, shit! The Ultimatum. The second cloud. And that's the thing, Shuma, is because of the title, it alludes, like you're saying, to more clouds to come. So, yeah, I think what the title is implying for this painting is that this is the first of many big bumps in the road for this couple's marriage. So I like long art streams. I know. Some weeks I do really good with like the researching and stuff, and some days I'm a big old flop. So yeah.